This put me in the Christmas spirit.
Same. I love this one.
Like, from start to finish. The tree, to the family, to the lights, to the snow, to the Christmas lesson. It had it all. This will get you in the mood.
Yep.
Don't.
I'm sorry.
You know, if someone shares a very vulnerable secret with you, you have to not laugh at their face. You have to wait till they leave, and you laugh behind their back like a normal person.
I wasn't laughing at you. I was in your situation. I was laughing at what you said. All right.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hey there!
Hello! Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. I meant to say it's good to have everyone back. I don't know why I'm having a hard time.
Are you okay? Did you get hit in the head?
You know what it is? I've spent a lot of time recently editing that Love Actually episode, so I feel like there's just something going on in my brain.
Do you need a nap? Are you tired?
I need to get it checked out. So.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's try it again.
You're pretty much like if you had Eddie's brain. That's how you're acting right now.
And my hair just ain't gonna look right. If it gets dented. Oh, yeah, this is a great movie. All right, so we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And we do not have a cousin Eddie, but I kind of have a dog like Snot.
We actually have a cousin Eddie.
Oh.
But it's Dad's cousin on his side.
Oh. Yeah, but he doesn't act like him. Thank goodness. My God.
We definitely don't have a cousin Eddie that rolls up in an RV and full. We don't got that.
No, sure don't. So, what is our movie this week, Bridge?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. 1989?
Yeah, I did not know what year. When I watched this the other night, it was just like DVR'd on our TV very randomly. And I was like, sweet, I don't have to pay for it. But like, because of that, I wasn't able to read the description or the year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that gets posted when you like watch it on demand or whatever. And I was like, who DVR'd this? And Dad goes, I had the DVR like last year. I'm like, okay, but it's this year. How long does it stay on there? Oh my God. What's happening?
Oh my God. Well, and this was a sequel to the just National Lampoon's Vacation, right? I don't know if that was the name of it. But
and there was like, what about the Vegas one? Where did that fall in the lineup?
I loved the Vegas one.
I remember the Vegas one. It's funny.
Yeah, see, that's 1997.
Oh. So this was the second one?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I don't know why. I thought it was after Vegas.
Oh, wait. Nope. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It is... Oh, wow. Okay, so the National Lampoon's Vacation, 1983. Then European Vacation, 1985.
I've never seen that.
Then Christmas Vacation, 1989. So this isn't the sequel. This is the third, whatever that's called.
I've never, ever seen the European one.
Never. And then Vegas Vacation, you jump basically 9 years to 1997.
Well, because in that one, the kids are older, and they're obviously, like, different. I think every movie, the kids are, like, different actors, which is really funny to me.
Oh, my God.
These kids are the best ones, though.
Yeah, who, like, grew up to be, like, super famous actors.
Yeah.
Juliette Lewis, and,
he's from The Big Bang Theory.
He's from The Big Bang. Johnny Galecki?
Don't know.
Galecki? Someone needs to tell me how to pronounce that. But also... Do you want to know what I learned? That I was like, what? So, the magical aunt.
Oh my God! I love her. I can't wait to talk about that part.
Wait, which I think her name is Mae Questel.
Okay.
She was the voice of Betty Boop.
Oh my god, that's so fun.
How fun is that?
That is fun.
And then obviously Margot and Todd, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and the guy's name is Nicholas Guest, were amazing.
I don't know, Margot. We still quote that, like, probably too much.
Literally, Mose quotes that all the time.
He just calls you Margot all the time.
And I thought it was, I'm such an idiot. I thought it was from like the Royal Tenenbaums or whatever.
What?
And I got it so wrong, and I was like, oh my god, it's from this movie.
So funny.
But written by John Hughes.
Yeah, that I didn't know either. I saw that in the credits, and I was like, what?
Wild.
Christmas magic! Get some Christmas magic with no torture. Well, there was kind of like weird pain things happening in this as well as in Home Alone, so...
Insane.
Yeah.
But Chevy Chase, who, you know, is slightly problematic now.
Yeah.
He seems like somebody that, like, never had a filter, and now that he's, like, an old man, it's, like, 10 times worse.
I think that's exactly what it is.
And then, we didn't talk about this, but Randy Quaid kind of, like, lost his mind. We didn't talk about this in Brokeback Mountain. Did you know that?
No. When did he lose his mind?
So, I think he's, like, stuck in Canada. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Canada's cool, but, like, what's going on in there?
So anyway, I'm getting down to his legal issues. Oh, let's see. Quaid. Oh, wow. He's got a lot. Okay, let's go to the most recent. Quaid lived in Montreal beginning in 2013 and was briefly arrested for not checking in as a non-resident.
Oh, that's stupid.
Then he sued the State Department for revoking their passports.
Okay.
And then he kept appealing in Canada. He had to be deported. Then he was detained by U.S. Customs when he tried to get deported. And he might end up in California. He just sounds like Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, but that doesn't, to me, seem... Like, when I think of crazy, I think of, like, mentally. I mean, that just sounds like he's being annoying.
No. He is mentally... They were charged with burglary. They basically stayed in someone's house that they kind of knew once. Warrants were put out for their arrest. Then they flee to Canada to get protected, and that's part of this whole nonsense.
Okay. Well,
yeah, look him up. He's kind of like a kookadook. But boy, was he good in this movie.
We love us some crazy.
Wait, you gotta do this synopsis.
You want me to do it? I think...
Should I do it?
Well, it's your movie.
Okay.
You, technically.
Oof, this is gonna challenge me.
I feel like it's a go in order type.
Yeah.
Because there's a progression of time.
So we start off with a middle-level manager, Clark Griswold.
I'm sorry. You're the only person I know who would focus on the business level that the character's in that nobody else pays attention to. Okay,
but the reason is because he's always trying to, like, he always wants to be better and greater. Like, so in the beginning, he's literally trying to race some truck that's, like, trying to go faster than him. He has this kind of middle manager. He's got some issues.
Wow.
So, okay.
Sorry, middle manager listeners. Get some help. Go join Randy.
They're not listening to this. I'm just going to say that right now. Okay. So he's got this family. It's Christmas time. And, you know, he just wanted a big Christmas.
Yeah.
And everything from the beginning to the end goes wrong. First, they go drive to get the tree. And then he also has his quirks. So this is where he's trying to race some random stranger dude and basically flies off the road. We'll talk about that more, but flies off the road. Gets to the tree cutting place, but of course they can't just get any tree. They have to walk and get the biggest tree. And then they're basically like freezing to death, and he takes this massive tree that will barely fit in his house, and this begins the theme of like overcompensating Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's not just lights on the house, it's 25,000 lights. It's not just, you know, the presents. It's, I'm gonna get the house a pool. So you see him go through it, and then when you bring the in-laws and his parents, they're a piece of work. And then Cousin Eddie shows up unexpected in his RV with his kids.
Thank God.
Thank God. dad. And then you just, hilarity ensues. The neighbors are amazing. Juliette Lewis-Dreyfus and her husband, who I don't remember his name, but he's Todd. And they are I think they call this, the acronym is DINKs.
Oh.
Double income, no kids. Mom and dad would know that.
Wait, hold on.
It's called DINKs.
No, I need you to say that again. Say it again.
Double income, no kids.
Okay. I don't know if you've ever watched this show.
Oh,
There's a show on Nickelodeon called Doug.
Yeah. Of course I know Doug. Doug Funny?
His neighbors were called the Dinks, Mr. and Mrs. Dink, and they had no children.
Oh.
And they were really rich.
And you're just putting that together.
My mind is blown. Oh, God, I think that's on Hulu. Gonna have to check that out again. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. I'm learning a lot in this.
Oh, this is great. Middle manager
synopsis.
stinks. Amazing. But basically, you just see the contrast of the chaotic house with, dogs running everywhere. And then you go to this peaceful home and somehow Clark Griswold just keeps tearing their home apart.
Yeah.
And he couldn't care less about them. And that's hilarious. But I would watch this again. I don't know, though, if, it's a movie from the 80s. So it's very physical. There's a lot of physical comedy. But you gotta I think it is a background movie.
Yeah, you don't really need to be paying a lot of attention.
You don't need to pay a lot of attention.
You kind of get the gist
so,
of it.
I think that's the best I got without taking 20 minutes to go into every detail. What did I miss?
Well, and there's also you reference he's trying to get a pool. So he is...
From his bonus check.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that more in detail.
Oh, yeah. I missed the whole bonus check thing.
Yeah, they was he's waiting on a Christmas bonus, and that's what's gonna pay for this pool. And it comes at the very last minute, but then it's not a bonus. It's a jelly of the month thing. Membership, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back, and he loses it. And then there's a kidnapping of the boss. So there's kind of that piece.
Yeah, that got silly.
Honestly, I think it put a bunch of little themes together in a nice way, because nothing got too in depth, because it's a comedy.
Yeah.
It just straight up, there weren't any parts where I was I'm gonna cry, or no. It's just it's all silly. So there was the kids want to believe in Santa, and but the parents are poor and they can't get gifts, and then oh, those families are crazy, and oh my god, there's just a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
But I thought, there was a lot of physical comedy, but I think what makes this movie funny is just the dialogue and the line delivery is more of what I think it is. It's like Napoleon Dynamite, where you could say all those exact same lines, but if you do it in a wrong way, it's not gonna be funny. But the way that they did it was so funny. That's what this movie is like.
What was your favorite line?
Oh my god, I don't even know, because I feel there's so many that I quote and that are just so funny. So okay, we could jump to the beginning and maybe kind of go through a little bit, but when they are driving and they get stuck under a truck.
That is a brilliant scene.
Because of Clark's road rage. I was oh my god, how did they film this? They get under the truck and then he realizes it, nobody's screaming their head off, and the wife goes, this is how she says this, she goes, Clark, we're stuck under a truck. She just, she doesn't scream or anything. And she's not even mad. She just says it very matter of factly. And he's
ugh.
So funny.
Beverly D'Angelo is so good. She is such a good contrast to Chevy Chase in this movie.
Yeah, because she just, I don't know, she just had a bunch of good lines. Or when the in-laws come and the daughter's complaining. She's I have to sleep with my brother. And I was oh my god, this is because I think of with us, when we had a lot of family who used to we'd have big holiday events, then we would have to sleep in different places or share beds. And I'm I can relate. All you wanted was your own bed, and your aunt and uncle are in there, and then oh well, it's what it is. You're not going to see that bed for a week, so get over it. And then the mom
goes, over it.
She goes, I don't know what to say. It's Christmas and we're all in misery. It's just so good.
And then she lights a cigarette, right? I know what you're talking about.
The mom's are you smoking? She's no. It's so funny.
To your point, you're making me think of when they were getting the tree, and they went to the furthest place to get the biggest tree, and Clark goes, hey kids, isn't it great? Hey, what do you think? And Clark, her eyes are frozen. It's open or something.
She's like, she'll talk later, dear. Her eyelids are frozen. My God.
That's that like dark 80s, you know, where it's like the kids could be tortured and the parents gave literal zero.
Some of the stuff that happens, like a cat dies. There's death in this movie.
Can I tell you that they tested that? Because like the movie producer, wait, the movie no, hold on. They tested it with an audience.
Okay, Bridget, you can't start it like that. My God, I got so nervous.
Well, because they thought nobody would watch it because a cat dies, and apparently that was the thing that this test audience thought was the best part of the movie. That's why they kept it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, but I think the reason that stuff like that was like not annoying or not actually as horrific was because you never actually saw anyone like bleeding or like, bruised or like anything like that. I mean, the cat is dead, so it's dead. So that, wasn't cool. Didn't like that. Although I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad it wasn't the dog though. I didn't want it to be the cat, but like we didn't know the cat,
obviously. Yeah.
We don't know.
So did you like the Rottweiler Snot?
Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. I just kept talking to Bear during the movie. I'm like, look, this is you, my pride and joy. He's my pride and joy.
When he chases the squirrel, I was like, that's Penny.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, when he was running into everything, Mom was like, that is Bear. And I was like, you're right.
And then when he finally cuts the tree and he gets it the size in the house and he puts it in and he snaps the rope and it just breaks all the windows, I was like, this is amazing.
Right, but even that, it's like, the wife just is kind of like, whatever, this is my life.
But you know what? This movie started out like really funny. Like even then the sap on his hand.
Oh my
God.
God.
He couldn't read the magazine and he got his hand stuck to her into the lamp. Like I was laughing so hard. And I kept thinking like, I feel like we could go for some more physical comedy movies.
As long as it's done like that.
Yeah. I feel like technology has given us like a little bit of a crutch. Because think about now, like technology would be used, CGI or whatever, in all these scenes.
Well,
and it just wouldn't be as funny. And I was watching it like, I feel like I could go for some more like physical comedy. Like the Jim Carreys or that are really like physically doing it themselves.
Oh my God, I was watching Ace Ventura When Nature Calls last night.
What?
It was
amazing!
So good! So good! Yeah, you're right. I don't know, maybe that's what makes this movie like still hold up,
But then there's some parts of it that I'm like, this is so boring. Like, he makes like some anti-Semitic comment, and then like the woman at the retail store.
But yeah, like, that I was like,
I'm like,
whatever.
This is so boring. I get it. And then he like dreams of her jumping in the pool, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I had a lot of questions because like that was all his brain. Like, so he jumped from like family to in-laws that we don't like, to Cousin Eddie in a banana hammock, then to the counter lady getting naked. I was like, I don't want to be invited to your thinking parties, sir. Mm-mm.
I mean, I feel like that might be how Chevy Chase thinks, because he's a psycho.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the little kid interrupted him, though. I was like, thank God you're here, Ruby. My God.
Chevy Chase, though, does have a line to the woman where he says, it's a bit nipply out.
He does.
And he started, like, giggling, and I was like, I feel like I've said that a lot. Did I get it from this movie?
Well...
Yeah, but his whole thing, like, oh, I'm divorced, and, oh my God, you have this, like, wife that deals with your crap, and you're gonna be divorced.
Yeah, it felt a little out of character, because the whole movie, he's, trying to make everything awesome for his family, and doing all these things for his family, just to be like, never mind, I'm a single man. You're like, what?
Yep.
Seems kind of stupid. Maybe John Hughes didn't write that part. Perhaps that was a director's...
Oh, maybe.
Who directed this?
I don't know the guy's name, but I think he was famous for making sexy commercials.
Well then, there you go. And there you go.
What was Jeremiah Shekik? Or I don't know.
Interesting.
You know what though? So most of those John Hughes movies it's always like the kids that are like really the adults.
Right.
And the adults are like idiots. The one scene though they nailed was when the grandparents came to visit.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, hi. And like the son was saying hi, Russ, and the daughter. And it was just like the most boring conversation ever. And they're like, oh, hi, great. It's like, you hate to be mean like that because like we're all going to be old someday. But that's like exactly how a kid feels. It's like, hi, oh, I love you. Oh, yeah, I'm getting big.
Or the grandma's like, I'll give you a whole quarter. And he's like, wow, quarter. Meanwhile, his father like clearly makes a butt ton of money and oh my goodness.
Crazy.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
What do you want to talk about?
This whole like bonus check because...
Oh, okay, what do you want to know?
I mean, that I think was the funniest part of the movie. That one, that's a thing. I don't think that exists as much as this movie made it out to be. Because again, I think of a pool. He had to do a $7,000 down payment, which could be potentially, what, like 20%? So that pool is what, like $35,000? So your bonus check is $35,000? Bonus.
Do you want me to break your heart right now, or should we live in your
I don't want to
world?
hear it with the middle managers. I don't want to hear it.
But like they could get that money.
Okay, but that's bull. I don't want to hear it.
It's usually a percentage of people's salary. And so if they have a high salary, they can get a high bonus. But to your point, if he has a high salary, he doesn't manage his money well. So why is he waiting for all the money for a pool? Just save up.
And the whole like speech at the end where he's like, when people count on it as part of their salaries. No. A pool's not part of your salary. That's extra, mister. So you go on this whole high horse that like, oh, I need it for my family so we can survive. No, you don't. You're sicko.
Yeah, but this was like in the 80s when all people cared about were like consumerism, you know?
A lot of people still do care about that, apparently.
But I will tell you, also to break your heart, I think a lot of people think of bonuses as part of their salary, which is pretty messed up.
It is messed up.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole message was he was like, you're being greedy, whereas... like, he's just using it to get a pool. Like, he wasn't using it to, like, donate to charity or, like, you know, support his really poor cousin.
I know. And that's how messed up, I would say, the moral compass was in that time. Because, well, but also, like, the economy wasn't as bad as it is now. And so
that's why I thought it was so funny. Because I'm like, this is hysterical. Yeah. Nobody can relate to this anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, like, the main part, you know?
And I always think about with these 80s movies, like, what would Clark Griswold be on social media? Would he be like a Facebooker that's like, just got the tree, here we go, and then he's like, I just got the grandparents came.
Probably. I was gonna say he'd be like a troll where he's just like commenting on everyone's joy and being like, that's stupid. Your lighting looks bad. And you're like, what? Stop that. No.
What did we think though of Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
I love her. She's so funny.
How good were they at being the snobby, kind of rich, right? They had the rich couple.
Yeah, very snooty.
They were so good at that.
Yeah, and like right off the bat, they like come out and I don't even remember what joke they make. They make some joke about like Clark. And then he talks about how he's gonna shove the tree up the lady's butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Clark was a really weird neighbor to them.
Yeah, he was like aggressive because you're like, wait, that's a lot.
I feel like that's his like comedy style too.
I mean, Chevy Chase probably just played himself in this movie.
Katie.
I know,
as one
Bridge.
does.
I know.
How about as he's putting on the lights and he puts the ladder up on the side of the house and then he's just like, you know, just stapling the lights and then he gets his arm caught. Okay, that was real. I feel like there was a lot of dads that would get on ladders and fall off and break their arm and fall off the roof. For real. Like, I feel like that style house, that tall ceiling house, and just reckless dads.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened a lot, probably.
I just kept thinking with, like, the stuff in the house, like with the attic scene, when he goes through the attic floor, aka like the ceiling, yes. I was like, oh, like I like clutched my invisible pearls because I was like, that's gonna be so much money to fix, everybody. This poor house.
That bonus check is not going to a pool. It's going to fix his existing house.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, no! Don't you know your own attic? What are you doing?
But I kind of love that he fell on the top bunk bed because it
was
made
funny.
it like that much better. And then when she pulls down the seat and he was like in this weird woman's outfit and he falls through. I mean, I don't know why. I thought that was like the funniest
I thought it was
thing.
funny too. I asked Mom, I was like, could that really happen? Could you get like stuck in an attic? And she's like, no, you just push the door and it goes down. I was like,
She's like,
phew. All right, good,
it's a
thank God.
movie, Katie. It's a movie.
I'm worried about the ceiling. I'm worried about the door. So my mind is on houses. I'm sorry.
So when we hang out, we get to say like, it's Christmas. We're all in misery. Like, do we get to say that over and over again?
I mean, it's Christmas and we're all miserable. Yes. Yes. And that scene when the doorbell rings and like everyone in the house, they're all like doing their own thing and then they all like pause and it like gets quiet and they're all like looking menacingly at the door and the doorbell's like, dun, dun, dun. I was like, oh boy, there it is.
Again, it's like, I get it. I remember that feeling. And then you also have empathy for people that are grandparents because, you know, they're just trying to be nice people.
They came to visit like early though. That was a week or two before Christmas. I'm like, wait.
Not only did they come early, but they came and the first thing they did was go to sleep.
They did.
Okay.
And the grandmas are making like a gingerbread house, but they both look like miserable doing it. And I was like, why are you making this? What's happening?
I don't know. It was weird. I did like how, this is kind of jumping around, but how Clark always was yelling for Russ to do stuff, and Russ was always like trying to run away from him. I was like, that's so funny.
Yeah. He's like, Russ, let's untangle this. And it's like the biggest knot ever. I was like, oh my God. It's too real. Too real. The light scene was so fun though.
That was great.
Like the reveal, I should say.
Drum roll, please.
That was a good drum roll.
Oh.
I love when it doesn't work. And then, like, I guess it's the in-laws, I think. They're, like, being jerks about
Oh my God, they're so mean to him.
Yeah, they're just, like, making rude comments. And then the daughter, she goes, he worked real hard on it, Grandpa. And the grandpa goes, so do washing machines.
She was the only nice one.
So random. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. And then his parents were like so cute. They were like, oh, I can see it in my mind. It's beautiful. Like,
I know, they were.
Like, oh, it's nice.
Yeah. And then I think when Cousin Eddie shows up, it's like at the perfect time because it was starting to get like, oh God. So those parents, her parents hate Clark and all they do is say mean stuff, and his parents are super nice, and it's like it was getting a little boring. And I feel like Cousin Eddie showed up and was like, yippee-ki-yay. Right. He was amazing.
I was glad it was like a family with him too. Like it wasn't just him, like he just like materialized. He was like there with the wife and the kids and even the dog. I love the dog.
Oh my God.
Because it just, like you said, they just gave you more opportunity to like do different stuff, you know, that you wouldn't have been able to do with grandparents. Like you can't take the grandparents sledding.
Oh my God, with his super special grease formula, which like it got cheesy as he was like flying through. But at the same time, I kind of loved it. I don't know why. I was like really into it.
It reminds me of Mario Kart. I'm not sure, but like that's what I think of when I watch that.
Do you know what I said I wrote this down as he's flying down the mountain? I wrote super cheese. Reminds me of Val Kilmer. Remember the snowball?
A Willow reference. Oh my God. Oh. In the Love Actually episode, I asked somebody to like edit basically the entire movie to make it into what all the jokes we said about it. And now I want people to edit that scene of him sledding, and then in the background next to him is the Val Kilmer snowball, just like slowly trailing behind. Oh my God, amazing.
And I secretly want Eddie to be on top of that snowball, just being like, hey, Clark, I'm coming. Oh my God.
Somebody can do that. I believe in you. Whoever you are, believe in you. We're counting on you.
Oh my God.
Christmas magic. Don't forget. John Hughes. Okay.
I think in general too, you're right. Like the grandparents couldn't do all that stuff, and so Eddie and the kids, I don't know, they made it fun.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell though if they were trying to like pull one over on Clark. Like the kids were like, "We have no money. Is there really Santa?" Like I don't know if they like were manipulating him.
Oh, really?
Or if they were just being like honest because they were like, "Oh, we don't know anything because we live in an RV." Because like the whole movie was like comedy, and then all of a sudden these kids came up and they were like, "Oh, we don't think Santa exists because he doesn't bring presents to us or something."
That scene though, when she's talking to him, and I think I wrote some lines down because she talks like very funny. He's like, "What are you doing up so late?" And she goes, "What was the kid's name? Rocky or something?"
Yeah,
goes,
the brother.
"Rocky bit my thumb." And he's like, "What?" And then she just like doesn't talk about why that happened, and she starts going like, "Him's nervous because he doesn't think Santa's gonna come," and like just keeps talking about all this. But she talks about how she was like, "Sometimes I think all that Santa stuff is just bull." And she goes, "We were good all last year and we still got the chaff." No, I think they really were poor. I mean, I don't remember, like, I didn't see the European Vacation. I do not remember the first movie. I guess that's where they meet Cousin Eddie, I'm assuming. And then there's like, you meet these children? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just kind of got the sense that they were like poor and kind of like hillbilly. What is the relationship, by the way? Like, is Cousin Eddie, like, is he...
Kate, he's a cousin.
No, I know, but like, who's the parents of him? Do we know? Like, what's the family tree look like?
I thought Clark's parents, somebody's brother or sister, is Eddie's parent.
Oh. That is
What
a
did you
cousin.
think?
That's a cousin. Okay.
Oh, you're
Sorry.
scaring me.
Sorry.
Were you thinking like a brother?
I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know. Family trees.
Well, I'll tell you, the other character we have not talked about who was really good was the CEO, who was a really good jerk.
Such a good jerk. Yeah. What was he from? I don't know. I recognize him from something. I couldn't think of it though. I'm sure he's just like a character actor.
He's in a lot of movies.
His introduction is like, Clark is talking to his one coworker, who, by the way, the coworker that he keeps talking to was also an actor in the 1990 Stephen King miniseries It, which is the best. He's the grown-up Stanley in that, who dies. Whoops. And anyway,
okay.
That's that. But they're talking, and like they're in some hallway or whatever in the office, and like the boss, the way they filmed it was like he's walking, and there's this huge group of other men walking behind him, and it's like, stomp, stomp, and they're all like moving their arms, and it's like, is that West Side Story? What's going on here?
It was weird. It was totally weird.
Don't shank me. Oh no.
Yeah, that was like a little, and then it's funny, like, you're gonna make fun of me, but he kind of like had a cool job. I mean, his job sounded really boring. It was like coming up with ways that cereal doesn't get,
soggy or something.
Soggy and milk. But the way he spoke about it, I'm like, you're actually like a very intelligent person. He was like a chemical engineer or something. And I was laughing so hard because the movie makes him out to be this big dumb idiot,
Or like how he sits at... Oh, you're talking about Clark, not the boss?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking about Clark in his work setting.
I thought you started talking about the boss and then it morphed into Clark. No,
I did.
Okay.
But I was thinking of Clark in his work setting and how like the CEO's like, "Oh, that thing you came up with was great, but like I hate you." And I wanted to be like, "But would that really happen?"
I don't know.
But I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny with his, because you're right. He had this like band of like,
yeah, it was like a gang in the office. But then he doesn't even have his own office. He like sits in a conference room at like one end of the giant table alone.
I don't know.
And then just yells at everyone. It's very strange. You would think he'd have an office with a door he can lock, like Ron Swanson. I'm just saying. I mean, there's solutions to this problem of his.
Oh, Ron Swanson. I love you.
Me too.
Yes. I think then the next exciting part is the great-grandparents show up, which now we know is Betty Boop.
Her voice kind of sounds
or
like
the great-aunt. Great-aunt. That's what it was. The guy was so annoying.
Uncle
he drove
Lewis.
me nuts.
He was so rude. He kept calling his cigar a stogie. It just made me laugh.
It's like, you're so annoying. What? The whole, like, how so first she wraps up the cat.
Ugh.
Then she wraps up Jell-O.
Yes.
Right? Then he lets the cat out, but how did the cat die? The cat got electrocuted?
Because it was chewing on the tree lights, and then it was unplugged, so, like, it was okay, it was chewing it, but then Clark plugged it back in, not knowing the cat was chewing on it, and then the cat exploded. But it wasn't gory. But, like, it could have been.
It was very, like, magician poof.
Yeah, and it was just, like, you didn't even see a body, you just saw, like, an outline. You're like, okay, it's like a cartoon.
And then... Then Eddie goes, well, Clark, that cat's got 9 lives and you took all 9 of them.
God, my cousin Eddie.
And the one thing we forgot, so just because Thanksgiving for us wasn't too far away, when they're opening up the turkey and it just like literally games open. I was like, this is every cook's worst dream, and then they're all like nibbling on it, and they like can't. Oh, it's too funny.
Okay, wait, you're gonna need to take a sip because they did that in Degrassi. It was a little different. The turkey kind of like more so exploded stuffing out of its butt on Paige. But it was pretty similar. So
many episodes are in this stupid show.
It's everywhere and everything. Don't forget. Never forget, always remember. Anyway, yeah, that was so funny. And then they're all just eating, and the dog is like coughing, and Clark's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't, feed him from the table there, Eddie. And he's like, nah, he's probably just nosing through the garbage. And they turn, and the garbage is just like shredded. Mom was like, wow, I can relate. I was like, stop it, Mom.
Oh, get out of here.
Just stop it. Bear's a good boy. But he would yak on a bone if he had one, because he loves bones, so yes.
The other thing that was amazing is when all of a sudden the squirrel was in the tree.
Oh my God.
And started running around the house, and it was to King Kong music. Did you pay attention to that?
Yes. But that happened because the original tree literally blew up.
Oh, that's right. So he just took it from the yard.
Why did the tree blow up?
I don't know, but this is, again, John Hughes, incredible. How did he think of all this?
No, it blew up because the dog drank the tree water, so the tree was really dry, and then the uncle was smoking his cigar next to the tree, and then the uncle caught on fire, but didn't know he caught on fire. And then Clark had to tackle him to the ground. Yep. Yep. Checks out.
It's so funny.
Wait, also with the turkey scene, you didn't talk about our other movie reference to Sister Act with the blessing. Grace! She died last year.
It was so good. But I thought she actually says the whole Pledge of Allegiance, but she goes into other stuff, doesn't she?
No, she does I think she does the whole thing normally. Sister Act, she does a bunch of different things though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she just does a regular one. Nobody interrupts her or anything. They're just like, okay, whatever.
doesn't Clark, or doesn't Eddie stand up and put his hand on his chest?
He does. And then she also sings the national anthem?
Yeah, I was gonna say, then she
sings the national anthem when, again, another explosion. And again, the uncle smoking his stogie too close to, flammable things and gas in the sewer because Cousin Eddie dumped his septic tank in the sewer. And there was gas, and then there was an explosion, and then she just started singing the national anthem. And everybody just joined in as they watched giant explosion and possibly their dead uncle. So he was okay though, but so many things.
But all of that minor details that added to really funny moments is the best. It was just pushing him over the edge. And then obviously the bonus check threw him off.
Oh my God.
Can we buy little moose cups to drink eggnog in?
They definitely sell those.
Those were ridiculous.
Yeah.
They didn't look practical, but they were amazing.
Nope. How do you store them? I don't know. Where do they go?
No one knows. No one knows.
Keep them in the box.
You're not cleaning eggnog out of that. No way.
No way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love it. The squirrel, it was a puppet, and then when it was a puppet, they just had it on the back of, I think, Clark. And, like, you could tell he purposefully was, like, running high knees. So the squirrel was just, like, bouncing. And, like, its little tail. Oh, my God. It was so funny. Because it's so... And also, there's... I think it's Clark's dad. He's like, squirrel! And the camera, like, zooms in on his face as he says it. I have to find a gif of that. It's so funny, the way they filmed that. It's just so different than the rest of the movie.
Well, and then this whole movie, like, they never acknowledge these ridiculous things that happen to them. Like, everyone's like, well, keep going. And that's, I think, what makes it so funny.
The cat blew up. Keep it going. Keep it moving.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then it ends with, you know, Cousin Eddie. Well, there's, like, stuff that happens to the neighbors. And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't know.
No, Margo. Yeah.
And then doesn't she go over there? She's like, you know what? I'm going to go tell a piece of my mind if you're not man enough to do it. And then I don't know what happens to her.
No,
but
the squirrel jumps on her. And then Snot jumps on her because Snot's just trying to help.
and then he just kicks her out the door.
Yeah, he just closes the door on him. And he's like, anyway.
She's kind of always played this character in Veep. She does it so well. Where, like, you want her to be victorious in whatever she's doing, but when she loses, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that, but her humor is incredible, and she does it really well here. I wonder, when did Seinfeld start?
That was definitely 90s.
Oh, it aired in 89.
Wow, okay.
So this was like her year of her doing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was so good.
Get those Christmas royalties. And then, you know, it ends with a kidnapping, as you do.
Which, did you really believe the CEO was like, I really changed my heart and don't press charges? I was like, wait, what?
No.
Again, this movie, like, this is why I didn't believe the kids were, like, honest. I thought that Cousin Eddie had told them to, like, tell Clark to give him money because it just felt out of place.
No, I think it was just, I don't know. That was like, they just needed to wrap it up, I feel like. So they're like, whatever, we'll have like a happy ending. And he's like, I'm gonna double your salary or like add something. I'm like, oh. And then the wife, like, when she comes with the SWAT team, yeah, there's that.
That's so good.
And then, like, he explains what happened, and he goes, yeah, remember I was telling you I was gonna, like, cut out the bonus checks? And then she was like, of all the ways to save a buck. What? This is like the comment that your bonus is your salary, because that doesn't sound like saving a buck to me, because, like, you spent those bucks anyway, so, like...
But I think people do count the bonus as a salary, Kate.
That's stupid.
Well, not if it's, like, a lot of money. Because, like, when people negotiate your salary, they say, and you'll get this bonus, so, like, add X. And then if you don't get X, you're mad.
Well, take it up with your union. Don't kidnap people. That's all I gotta say about
that.
that.
But wait, do you not love that the SWAT team, like, smashed through every window? I was like, how many broken windows? How many broken things are in this house?
All for the rich white guy who went missing. We're gonna get everybody on board for Christmas Eve.
I can't have him gone.
He pays our salary.
Also, like, why is it that when people get rich, they start wearing silk pajamas?
Oh, I don't know. And that lady wore, like, a weird fur coat, and I was like, we get it. You're rich, my God.
But, like, I was like, when does that become... When are you like, you know what? I got a raise. I'm gonna go from cotton pajamas to silk, because now we're loaded.
Wait, you watched Schitt's Creek, right?
Yes.
It was like the very first episode, I think, where they first are staying in the motel, and the dad comes in and he's talking to David, and he's wearing like silk pajamas with like a little like nightcap, and David's like, why are you dressed like you're in a Christmas Carol? What's going on? What are these pajamas? And then the dad like leaves, and he goes, okay, say hello to Bob Cratchit for me. But that's what it was. Silk pajamas.
I want him to come on this podcast. Can we put that out into the universe, Dan Levy?
God.
I would dream.
Dan.
Hello?
Dan?
Universe?
I was
Dan?
going to dress up as you for Halloween, but then Halloween didn't happen this year. I love you. I do have a David Rose sweatshirt, so...
That's a fantastic Halloween costume.
Yeah, I was going to wear a wig and everything.
Oh my god. You could have like a basket of soap and wine and just like hand it out to people.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting off track.
Okay, sorry.
It ended fun.
silk
Rich
pajamas.
people bored us, blah, blah, blah.
And then at the end, they're all like dancing, and the police officers are like, "This is a great time. We're hanging out." And then everyone's
Yeah.
dancing in the living room. And I was like, "What's happening? It's Christmas Eve! People!" Oi.
But yeah, it was good. I think people should watch this one and know that, you know, it's background fun. I think the first half was better than the second half, if I'll be honest.
Second half was just like quick.
If the movie happened to be on, I'd be happier if it just started than if it was like halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay, did you ask Dad for a dad quote?
I asked him to think about it, so we're gonna go get it.
Put the King Kong music on.
Dun, 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 dun. I would run like I have a squirrel on my back, but I know I'm gonna drop my laptop, so I won't do that.
Don't do that.
You'll just have to imagine. Hey.
Yes, daughter. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing? You're in your house. I can see because it looks empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I told you what movie we were doing the other day.
And what movie was that? I'm old. I'm forgetting it now.
It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that was a great movie. I love that movie.
You had it on DVR, so yes, I believe that.
Well, the fact that I'm eating, we probably should say grace, even though she died 30 years ago.
Are you turning into Aunt Bethany
No.
with your memory?
All right, Dad, go ahead. Say grace.
I believe. Play ball.
Okay, good.
All right.
Amazing.
Here you go now.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry.
There you go.
Oh my god. That was amazing. He's amazing.
He might be Aunt Bethany. There's a line where he's like, he says something and she goes, "Oh dear, did I break wind?" And he's like, "No, Aunt Bethany."
Isn't it messed up that he's like, she's 80. It might be her last Christmas.
I
was
know,
like,
ouch.
dude, like,
yeah.
80's not that old now.
No.
I mean, it's old, but it's not like...
I mean, she was acting a little, something's happening.
Well, do you want to know your Christmas movie?
Yes.
It's our last Christmas movie.
It is! Oh my god, I can't believe that! It's gonna come out December 23rd. Okay.
Wow. 1996.
Ugh. Just gonna keep...
You already know. Just give the slow clap.
Just gonna keep slow clapping as you speak.
Folks, this is our family's Christmas movie.
It is.
Why?
Why?
No one knows.
Nope.
But we are consistent. We all love it. It is the one, the only, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah! What I love about it is, like, I don't think this is anyone else's favorite Christmas movie.
Nobody likes
except
this movie
ours.
but us. Nobody likes this movie but our family because our family is insane.
It's amazing. It's the best. The best. And I purposefully did not watch it this year
Aww.
when I put it up the tree because I had an inkling this was going to come up at some point.
Just to give you, the rating on IMDb is like a 5.6 out of 10. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes gives it 15%.
Okay. Well, we didn't vote in there, so that actually is a little higher with our votes. So there.
So pretty much Everyone hates it but us. So
it's going to be
awesome.
so much fun. We're going to convert all you listeners.
I mean, okay, but look at this cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger is his own ridiculous person, but then you got Sinbad. Then you got Phil Hartman. Rita Wilson.
I was going to say Rita Wilson.
And you got some other good people that...
And you got the little kid who played Anakin Skywalker and said, yippee, really weird in episode 1 of Star Wars. No? Oh, well, some listeners will know that reference.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Star Wars? Anyone? Okay. And yeah, it's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
I'm excited. I always think of watching this movie when we were putting up the tree, because we used to have the tree that would take a really long time to put up because it was very obnoxious. And a fake tree. I love that tree, by the way, and I'm getting it. It's mine.
Wait, don't you still put it up, or do you have a different tree now?
No, it's a different one now, because the other one's too big. It doesn't fit in this house. So I said, save it, I want it. But anyway, it would take so long that we were like, we need to put something on in the background that's going to last a while. So we'd always put a movie. We put this movie on usually.
I love it.
I always think of that.
This reminds me of Our Family more than any other movie, and how weird is that?
Yeah.
That just describes how weird we are.
Yeah.
It's like we don't agree on anything but this movie.
Yep.
You know who'd be a good Christmas lead? Arnold Schwarzenegger. What?
And like, they're correct. So good job. You did it. I'm ready.
I'm so pumped.
Turbo Man. Yo. That's my Arnold impression.
Put the cookie down.
Put the cookie down. No! I love Arnold in comedies. I think he's great. I mean, Kindergarten Cop? Stop it.
He's a ridiculous person. Well, I'm trying to think what the best quote is to end, because there were so many. I think the show is full. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. This is our family's first kidnapping.
This is so good. There's so many. Bridge, if you lit my Christmas tree on fire because you were smoking a stogie and then Bear drank all the water, I would put the fire on your back out. So I love you.
And Kate, if a squirrel got attached to you and you high-kneed up the stairs, I would totally help you open the door to let it out onto the neighbors.
Yeah.
So.
I love it.
Oh, wait, here's the quote I wanted to say earlier. Clark, if that thing had 9 lives, she just spent all of them. So good.
Oh, yeah. This is a great one. And listeners, if you also love Christmas Vacation, which then makes me think you love us because you listened to our Christmas Vacation episode, you should leave us a review. We love reviews.
Totally.
We love Christmas magic reviews with 5 presents under 5 Christmas trees with 5 stars. Yeah!
Wow!
Whew! Came up with that in my brain.
That was a lot of counting.
I know.
Amazing.
So Apple Podcasts, wherever you can leave a review, do it. Thanks. Love you.
Alright, whatever. I came up with the quote
anyway.
to follow through on the S.
Spent out all the energy on that, so I love you all. I love you, Bridge.
I love you. I am going to be having cookies and milk and...
Put their cookie down!
all the things. And I'll see you next week.
I'll see
you listeners next week.
See you next week.
See what I did there? I talked to listeners.
Oh, good job.
We have listeners.
Bridget's committing. It only was episode 26.
Yeah, I take a long time to open up, but
That's
once
okay.
I do, I'm your forever podcaster.
Commitment
and that
is
goes
hard.
To you listeners.
Well, wow. We love you. We love our listeners. And we will see you guys next week for Arnold. Wow. Turbo Man, get ready. Okay. Bye-bye.
Turbo time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hasta la vista. Okay. Bye.
Get to the chopper. Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.